Hey all, and welcome back to this episode where I'll be giving you a recap and my not so humble opinion of Love is Blind Season 4 Episode 1. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into why you really clicked on this video. The episode opens up with an overview of the men's quarters and the women's quarters. Everyone's in there chilling, relaxing. What I noticed is that it's a nice group of people, different races, different ages, sort of different body types. So there's good representation there. And Nick and Vanessa walk in and they ask the contestants why they are here. I mean, it's pretty obvious. The name of the show, season 1, 2, and 3. I mean, everyone, we know why you're here. This part is boring to me, so I'm just going to skip over it. Chelsea and Kwame are in the pods, and Chelsea asks Kwame to guess how many pairs of shoes she brought with her. And I think she did this to just give him an idea of who she is as a person, that, you know, she likes to look good. Kwame is an ex-soccer player, professional soccer player, and they actually have a real moment when Chelsea acknowledges how hard it must have been for him to transition from playing pro soccer because of his injury. Kwame sounds like a nice guy, and I believe he has a type. Cue his next date with Micah. Kwame is charming, charismatic, high energy, you know, all the good stuff, which Micah is as well. So from looking at them, I think they're a good match. Kwame says that he was going to use his other name, which is Alex, instead of Kwame, but decided to change it at the last minute and use Kwame. Micah says that she loves that he chose to use Kwame instead, and they bond over their shared interest in the law of attraction and being positive and attracting what you want towards yourself. And after this date, Micah is Kwame's number one pick. Micah then has a date with Paul the third. Well, just Paul, but his grandfather's named Paul and his dad is also named Paul. And Micah's dad is also called Paul. So, you know, they have a little giggle about that. And Micah asks Paul his favorite place that he's been, and she says Italy. And coincidentally, Micah's favorite place in the world is also in Italy. So that's another thing that they have in common, and that leads to Paul's premature proposal. He says that they should go back when they get married. I mean, it was a joke, but kind of corny. Paul has a date with Amber, and he immediately forgets her name. As in, he walks into the room and asks, hey, you know, what's your name? She says, Amber, blah, blah, blah. And then a second later, he says, so what's your name and how old are you? And Amber's like, I'm still Amber. And she completely skipped over the age question and didn't answer that at all. And in this date, Paul brings up marriage as well. At this point, he doesn't seem genuine to me. He's just throwing out when we get married, on our wedding day, all of this stuff. No, stop it. And Paul have, you know, a lot of things in common. One of the things that they have in common is traveling. Amber is a flight attendant and Paul is an environmental scientist. So they are both adventurous people. Amber has been married twice before, and she left those marriages because she didn't feel appreciated and won't settle for scraps. She felt she gave so much in her relationships and her partners did not do the same. The next part dates, we zoom in on Tiffany and Brett. And both Tiffany and Brett haven't been in relationships for the past 10 years, and their longest relationship, both of them, is 2 years and 2.5 years. So they are really looking for soulmates. They don't get into relationships just for the heck of it, and they're not into playing games at all. At the end of this date, Tiffany is at the top of Brett's list. It's the next day, and Irina and Zach have a date. Zach decides that his attitudes towards the experiment has to change. They had played a few short clips of Zach having dates with multiple women, and I mean, those dates didn't lead to anything, so they don't focus on them. But he kept making jokes about being a stripper. You know, he wasn't taking it seriously at all. So On this day, he's decided that he's going to take it seriously if he has to find a wife in 9 days. He shares his childhood and he tells Irina that, it wasn't the best. He struggled growing up with a single mom. His mom struggled to provide for him. And Irina is an immigrant from Russia and she had similar struggles. At the end of this date, Irina is totally in love with Zach. The next date we see is Zach and Bliss. Wow. If these two don't get married, I don't want any parts of Love is Blind. Let me just tell you what happened. So you look at Zach, you look at Bliss. Bliss is gorgeous, natural beauty. I mean, most of the ladies are actually quite good looking, but Bliss is very, very, very good looking, humble, down to earth, calm person. And Zach is also a good looking guy. They both seem like a perfect match. That's in my opinion anyway. So Bliss asks Zach what his favorite song is, and he says his favorite song is I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. And when I tell you, I got chills, because there's this pause and then Bliss says that that's her mom's song for her. And she gets teary in the moment just because the coincidence is so, everything is just falling into place. And Zach can't believe it either. He's just there, like, what on earth is going on? And he says that was his mom's favorite song and the song he plans to play at his first dance on his wedding day. So they fall in love right in front of us.